All right, let's go ahead and do this sunken treasures expedition now.
We can hope for fair winds, nothing more.
The queen has vanished. Sir Archibald has asked you to chase her over land and sea and find out what on earth she is playing at. Okay, so let's assign a ship. We'll send the HMS Snilson.
Ship shape.
Now, what can we send?
Freshwater babes know that the rivers are but
All right.
tentacles of the god that is the sea.
Nothing here is going to be helpful to us. Let's exchange trading posts. Can we go? Yep. Okay, there we go. So we're going to send, well, I think probably we'll send some weapon. Weapon seems like a good idea. I think rum could be a good idea. And let's see, what else do we got? Does sewing machine help us at all? No, I don't think so. All right. So furs would help us. We could send furs. What can we send that'll help us with navigation? Those weapons don't help us. Do schnapps help us? No. We got rations. We're going to load furs. How about sails? That probably helps. No.
You're good.
So, does steel beams help? No. Okay. Well, beer will help us with diplomacy. So that could be useful. I wonder if we have anything that would help us with navigation. I'm guessing the navigational portion, that just has to do with the ship that we've chosen. So we're going to go ahead and put beer on there. So the beer will help us with diplomacy. The furs will hunt us with will help us with hunting, and the rum will help us with rations. So that'll be good, and we'll begin. There she goes.
New orders?
The HMS Snelson is on its way, heading out from Enbessa, where it had been docked in Ennis. All right. While we wait for it to have some progress, let's go over here to Billings and see what we have going on here. We'll expand our straight grid a little bit here in Billings. And as I said before, Billings is a bit of a large town, which doesn't really have anything distinctive about it other than the fact that it's large. Sort of large. The problem with Montana cities is they're big enough to be to give you the problems of a city, maybe, and they're small enough to not really give you any of the amenities. So I like the towns that are a bit smaller in Helena. The bigger, or like Helena, the biggest cities in Montana wind up being sort of samey and not all that fun. Anyway, all that to say, this particular town's a little bit inspired by Billings, but it's not really. The grid is not really going to mirror anything in Billings other than being a samey grid. Let's take a look at the newspaper. Sea battle captivates people. Helena was left to burn. Great Falls is quite full of mirth. Good. All right. I should probably set that paper to auto-publish because I don't ever really want to change anything in it, and I get tired of looking at it, honestly. All right, what do we got? What can we do? We have full storage roundabout here for linen. Linen. How are we for fineries? Lots of linen. We have lots of finery. So I suppose what that means,
Today's sea blue on green hills, isn't it?
is that we need to start expanding some more.
What we lack, the Lord provides for.
We need ceramics. And we need tapestries. So what we're going to need next is indigo.
One is not born an Irenia. It is an honor bestowed.
Ship under attack.
All right. What do we got here?
Wrote a poem because I worry for the nature in Mbesa with all this building. I wish the Emperor could hear it, but I doubt it will ever reach him. Oh, wonderful.
Ship under attack.
Talented, no doubt, but their experience too specific. Their projects lacking scope.
Hard to keep track with such beauty all around, isn't it?
All right. Well, let's start building in Dillon. And the reason we're going to start building in Dillon is because we need to start creating indigo. So, first of all, we got to start making the street grid for Dillon. I do want to base the street layout of Dillon a little bit on the real town. Just a little bit. No. I'm just looking at the street layout of Dillon and kind of thinking, I wonder how I can replicate that a little bit in this island's map, considering the topography.
So it weren't you in white last night at the chime of 12?
Well, maybe in the case of this town, we're not going to actually base this particular map off of a real city. We're just going to let it be what it is.
not the same if there's no one to sing. I can teach you how to do this if you wish.
We're going to follow the fertility of the river here.
Standing there forgotten under the rubble. He called the priest, of course, and the church was excavated.
I wouldn't mind an extra pair of hands. The Masinko is a bit out of tune, but it's a start.
We're going to need a trade route in between Dillon and Billings to provide finery, definitely fineries, and
Workforce shortage.
fineries and linen. Let's find our idle ships. I know we have some idle ships somewhere. Check the new world and see if we have any idle ships. No. And we'll go to the old world and check there. Do we have any idle ships? No.
Ceasefire has ended.
Well, if we have no idle ships, then maybe it is time for us to build another boat. Probably wouldn't hurt us, would it? Build one more ship and send it to Mbessa.
You gained an influence bonus.
It'll take a little while for that ship to be built. Oh, look, we have tarnished silver coins now, so we can actually build
Learn from your remarkable collections.
another exhibit here.
And I'm sure all those treasures are very well guarded.
Excellent. Actually think what I might do here, just because aesthetically I think this would look kind of nice, is we're going to take this part of the exhibit and move it over here. So our capital campus area has just a little bit more
Ship under attack.
room to work with. And then we'll make that road a single wide street.
Workforce shortage.
That'll be just fine. But then that creates this sense of a larger capital campus area, which works out just fine. As a matter of fact, we can also take this street. We can move it over just a little bit, so we have more room to work with there. That looks kind of nice. I like that. Just playing around with how that would look, but it can stay there for now.
Ceasefire has ended.
Yeah, that looks better. Having a nice sort of a wide open space here is going to improve the overall effect of the visual effect of the space. I wonder if we move that over a little bit, would that work? Yeah, that seems to be all right. Okay.
My grandson also has a talent for fiction.
Workforce shortage.
Heaps of manure.
There we go.
Ship constructed.
Well, I guess
No accidents in weeks.
that'll do for now. I definitely like that look a lot more. Gives us some space to work with, and we're going to make a nice open sort of a park area there.
Workforce shortage.
All right, so we have a new ship. And what are we going to call it? We're going to call it the HMS Orwell.
Steelsman. Do you call
And
it altruism?
we're going to send it to Embessa and Billings. All right, off to
There's no time
Billings.
lost if you learn something.
We have the devil to pay.
Okay, a royal progress. It is no coincidence that the trail of roses left in Her Majesty's wake has ended in this pretty continental town. But what could have caused her to cross a narrow sea, poppy-flecked fields, and mythical river valleys? She has not simply waltzed over for the ambience. This is the heartland of her maternal family line, and she is here with a purpose. She's a queen. There must be a sign of her somewhere. Or ask a respectable-looking local if they've seen a fugitive queen. We'll ask a local. Sounds
Wild
good.
things pursue us.
They don't take much convincing to tell you what they know, especially when you seem so sympathetic to the challenges of peasant life. Passing foreign queens expect your silence for nothing, and yet it is you who must die in the fields for your masters when the harvest has failed, they grumble, in recognition, noting that the queen considered the town to be beneath her and went off to stay in a nearby castle. It's now just a question of exactly which of her landed relatives she came here to visit. Well, we will use deduction to discern which royal the queen is visiting. We have a 20% bonus chance of success with this. You sneak upon proof. It is her cousin Ernest she's visiting. While the prince's welcome is polite, his stiffness of manner alerts your suspicions. When, after tea, he gives you the freedom of the ivy-clad castle, you waste no time seeking signs she was there. You find paper on the desk in a guest bedroom impressed with quill marks and make a rubbing. A letter from the queen to her handmaid. It largely concerns itself with Ernest's handsome looks. When you raise the subject with Prince Ernest, he becomes rather twitchy. Let's try to read his thoughts through his twitches. From your movements, I sense that you too are worried for her welfare. The subtlety of your deduction surprises Prince Ernest. He nods silently and falls heavily into the ornate chair behind his desk. She asked me to help trace our shared lineage, to establish the validity of certain claims she thinks she has through her ancestral ties to Lacrona. Ernest pauses and crunches nervously on some recently acquired shortbread. She had wanted to do it alone for once, but she's taking a great risk, and I have now decided you must go after her. There's to be a masked ball in Monegasque. You will find her there. All right. Well, what'll we do? Provide extra rations and continue. Sounds good. Well, you know what we might do while we're waiting? Just because I want to have a little bit of fun. Let's see about building a zoo. Because we haven't done that yet. What if we built a zoo? Built a zoo right out here in the capital area. Or we could build the zoo more over here. Don't know. We're going to try our hand at a zoo there. And requires adjacency. Well, maybe not. Maybe we could put our zoo up here. And then we could put our exhibit there. We don't have any animals, though, to put in it. We can always move the zoo later. I don't know how to get animals for the zoo. Probably by doing quests or something, I imagine. Eventually we'll get an animal for it. Now, in keeping with trying to be faithful to Helena, there is a sort of a park that's over, could be over on the way out of town. So I kind of think, actually, it'd make more sense, maybe, for us to, you know, make the zoo be more over by the water, maybe more on the way out of town. Like that. So
Admiral!
we could take the zoo and we'll put it out here. And that kind of makes sense in keeping with the idea that we have the Spring Meadow Park on the far edge of town as you go out of town. And there's sort of a little bit of a kind of an animal exhibit kind of a place there. So we'll do that, and then we'll allow the the neighborhood here adjacent to downtown to expand up to where the zoo is, and that'll make sense. All right. Well, now, masquerade at Monegasque. Following Prince Ernest's advice, you travel by train along the sparkling Côte Turquoise to a grand station in the sophisticated Principality of Monegasque. Ruled for 6 centuries by the Pedimont family, today the streets of Monegasque are filled with color and light, for it is the grand opening of its very first casino. The theme is animal masquerade, and you see disturbing furred and feathered costumes at every turn. Now, it's a furry convention. All right. Convention. Convenient for a queen going incognito. Prince Ernest gave you his own invitation to the casino, but you'll also need a costume. Okay. Well, we could shamelessly walk in without a costume, and that seems to be the best chance we have. So we're just going to go right on in. All right. It seems they will make no exceptions. This is a society event, says the doorman in an exasperation. It doesn't matter who you are. You can't come in dressed like that. If you're going to get in and find the queen, you'll have to settle for a less fashionable route. All right. We have a bonus chance of sneaking in. All right. Well, we'll try to sneak our way in. You show off your powers of mystery. As you stalk around to the promenade behind the casino, you're hit by a warm Riviera breeze and the sight of exotic palms. There's a bathroom window open above. The stucco holds as you shimmy up unseen, swinging your legs over the threshold. Finally, inside the casino, you debate your best bet for finding the queen. We're going to try to mingle with high society. You can't tell anyone here apart. As far as you're concerned, they might as well all be princes, queens, and kings. Suddenly, a silence falls over the room, and the Prince of Monegasque himself, a man with an improbably thin mustache, makes a long speech about how the casino will bring back the good times for the Pedimont family. And finally, I notice we have a special guest, he smiles, at which a sequined elephant promptly rushes for the door. Oh, your majesty, wait! But by the time you've forced your way outside, her carriage has set off at speed. You wave another cab down to get in. Right, well, let's have some more rations and continue. Find the queen. Okay, so we got a zoo built, but we don't have any animals.
And Beryl knows how to wring it out.
All right, a destroy quest, huh?
Got to do what we can to get by.
All right. Well, what do we got to destroy? Come on, let's see it. It's in Mbessa. All right. Well, let's go to Mbessa. And where the heck is my ship? We'll go to the world map. I should have a boat on the way to Mbessa. Where's it at? Didn't I send a ship to Mbessa? I don't know. I thought I did. We're going to build another ship. Can never have too many ships, apparently.
Shortage. Your ship has returned from its voyage.
Okay. There we go. I knew I had a boat. I knew I had a boat in Enbassa. There we go. All right. So now we have to go over here to destroy a frigate for Barrel O'Mara. It's on the way. There we go. It's a nice looking boat.
We have the devil to pay.
And back to our expedition. The Cape of Trelawny. Trelawny. That's how you say it, I think. The Queen fled the casino at high speed, and your own carriage is some distance behind. Your driver thinks she's headed up the coast, perhaps to a ship. You can either keep up your pursuit or else rush to your own ship, which, if the orders you gave to the captain have been followed, should be waiting in the Monegasque marina. What do we do? Let's continue the pursuit. You reach the next bay up from Monegasque, and hopping out of your carriage, you see the Queen bustling along a jetty at which a great flagship dubbed Lap of Victory is moored. Obviously, she has them primed for such an emergency, as they all seem ready to go. You can try to call out to the Queen, or else borrow a vessel to continue your pursuit. Well, we'll call out to her. You comport yourself with dignity. Your Majesty, please, I am not here to seize you, but to assist you in any way I am able. The short, rotund figure turns, dresses in hand, and a small but shrill voice floats back toward you over the sound of the sea. Meet me at the Cape of Trelawny. You find your own ship at the marina, and sail to Trelawny, the southernmost point of the old world. It was not 15 years previous that a great naval victory was won here over La Corona by one Admiral Nadaski. The Lap of Victory is there waiting for you, and the Queen receives you warmly aboard. You are finally able to ask her why it is that she has run away.
I am not here to escape domestic dissatisfaction, but to address it. Our nation has lost its pride, but pride can be restored. This place, Trelawny, is the site of my father's great naval victory over our rivals, La Corona. We were the victors here at Trelawny, yet all the spoils remain in the lap of Poseidon. The scepter of Capon has long granted its bearers indisputable authority, but it sank to the depths, along with La Corona's fleet. I can still smell Father's victory here at Trelawny. It is his greatest legacy. Finding the sunken scepter of Capon, the trophy we never claimed for that victory, will remind us of our past glories and restore the people's faith in their monarch. We shall build a new capital of the realm here, perhaps call it Crown Falls, in view of the sparkling cataracts you see the island possesses. This may be my greatest legacy. Help me build it, and find the scepter, and I shall designate you Warden of Trelawny, my official representative in these waters.
Well, that's nice. And we have our new region. That's the beautiful new large map that everyone was quite excited about. I understand.
Now, perhaps, but it promises to become the largest capital of my empire.
Will be the largest capital of the empire. And there is the Lap of Victory right there.
Ship under attack.
And we have our own vessel here with us. It's pretty easy.
We
Don't be afraid to hurry. We're happy to wait.
Pretty easy journey here. That really is quite a large map indeed, isn't it? Just stretches on and on. Wow. That really is. That's a pretty epic map, I have to say. It's huge. Okay, I've seen it before, but I have to say it's more impressive than I really gave it credit for initially. I have to take some time and figure out exactly what we're going to build here and what town we're going to be inspiring this particular build off of. We have a nice lake over here.
Attention for the Admiral. Ship of the line reporting in.
It would be prudent to accept.
More than ready.
Ship under attack.
Ship of the line reporting in.
Ship is full, so now we
Attention
are
for the Admiral.
struggling to pick up the gift that we have been given.
Let the sails fill. New orders?
Are you finally embracing a just cause?
Affection falls
Time
upon
to rigging.
grateful ears.
Set sail.
All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build a trading post here so we can claim our island.
More than ready.
I've received the gift I need to build, but it's floating here in the water.
On our way.
There we go. Okay. And I think what we're going to do here.
I can see it. A brilliant metropolis rising here from the memory of the victory my father masterminded. A shining new jewel in the crown of my empire.
I think what we're going to do, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to make this city Seattle. And the reason I say that is because
An impish little man dredging up bits and pieces. He may be exact.
it kind of suits, it kind of fits because you have this nice beach area. We look out across there and it looks kind of like, you can imagine that being the Olympic Mountains over there. And then the Cascades back over this direction. We have the illusion of a bit of a mountain pass. And we have this inland lake, which could certainly be something like, what is it? It's the lake that I'm thinking of would be Lake Washington. Lake Washington. On the to the east of Seattle, you have Lake Washington, which would be kind of the gateway to the Cascade Mountain Range. And that gives us plenty of space to just have a lot of fun, do different things. But we'd make this coastline modeled after the coastline of downtown Seattle. And I can see that being just a nice
New orders?
Ship under attack.
nice idea all in all. Let's see, did we lose? We lost that stuff that was floating in the water, didn't we?
Ship under attack.
That's all right. It's all right. Okay. We can always move our dock if we want to
Tell you what, how about
later
this?
on. Then we can imagine this little jutty over here is a little bit like maybe kind of West Seattle area. We should have plenty of room to play around with a city grid of streets that runs along the water. We can make like, let's say here. Yeah, so we'd probably draw a straight along there, and that would be kind of like First Avenue would run along like that, about. Then we could have a park area there near the waterfront, and the main part of our city would be built up along
May I?
from there.
Resentment.
Let's see. All right. Then I guess we'll also probably wind up settling some other islands as well. Like, look at that. That's a very nice island, I have to say. You can definitely have some fun with that one. In fact, I think while we're at it, let's go ahead and let's head down here and claim one more island while we're at it.
Let the sails fill.
Your people are starting to get sick.
And we can call this Tacoma. We'll call this island Tacoma. And this new region we've unlocked will be inspired by Washington cities, because I've spent a lot of time living in Washington, so there are some towns out that way that are sort of special to me. So I think it would make sense to make these towns over here named after that region. Beryl Amara has already got her presence established here. So I'll make sure that we're
hard to swallow, you know.
to make sure we're not getting left behind.
Ship under attack.
Ship of the line reporting in.
Down here we have a nice island.
Ship under attack.
We have niter deposits there. Fur abundance. I think we probably ought to take this island as well, because there's fur abundance here. And I really would prefer not to have to not to have to export all of my furs.
Typical you to rub it in. When my board won't let me
Attention for
expand.
the Admiral.
So we're gonna go over to this island as well.
You even know what's under your nose.
We'll call this one Tacoma. And then
Ship
we'll
under
make
attack.
this island here. We'll call this one Olympia.
New orders?
Ship under attack.
Aye.
And then
You
we'll
just
take
crossed paths with the Great Wibbly.
these
Reporting in.
remaining materials back up to Seattle so that we can have enough resources to build our initial marketplace and residences. But I don't really want to worry about building on here until after I've had some time to think out my street layout, because sometimes it's fun to just build whatever wherever, but it's also nice to have a plan before you begin building, I think. Anyway, 3 islands is enough to at least get us started. Might be nice to take over 1 or 2 more, but I guess we'll wait and see. All right. Well then, there we have it. We have a new region, and we are in good shape to start building on the Crown Falls map, which is going to be quite exciting. Anyway, till next time. Thank you very much.